first 6 months, or like a year I was out here, I got thrown into an SUV by a couple guys, and they brought me to a house for like a day or two. I was raped repeatedly, left for dead, and I was in like a real deep hole for a few months. I decided to go to rehab, and I found out I was pregnant, and I was too far along to have an abortion. So I got with the adoption agency, and I placed my son up for adoption.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Courtney. I'm from New York.
Oh, New York in the house. You know, Mal from New York. How's your day going so far, Courtney?
It's all right.
Where were you heading off to before I ran into you?
Trying to get some money, you know.
Trying to get some money. You know, we don't judge.
Still morning time.
All right, all right. How old are you?
I'm 32.
When is your birthday?
January.
January what?
23rd.
Day? Huh?
23rd.
Oh, so your birthday is coming up, girl.
Oh, it kind of is, I guess.
You have anything planned?
Hell no.
It's the po-po creeping up on us.
Yeah, they probably think we're doing something.
Let's talk about school. How far do you go in school?
11th grade, and I dropped out because I got pregnant.
Understood.
So.
Do you have sisters and brothers?
I have 9 brothers.
Oh,
no
wow.
sisters.
9 brothers. Yeah. Ain't nobody messing with Courtney.
Me and my dad had a really rough start my whole childhood and stuff. My dad was an alcoholic. He got clean 20 years ago or so, so it's been better since then, but it still wasn't okay until a few years ago I OD'd at my parents' house, and him finding me like that kind of made us closer. I don't know, you know, because he realized that, you know, I realized I could lose him and he could lose me. My dad's almost 80 years old now. He's really old, he's sick, you know, so we don't have much time left, so we're trying to patch things up. I talk to my mom a lot. She's got my daughter. She just turned 16 a couple of days ago. So
she turned how old?
16.
Oh wow, you look like 16.
I look young, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to stay close to her too through all this. So I'm working on getting myself back home. Understood.
That's great. What are some of your favorite childhood memories?
When I was little, I used to go up to my uncles a lot. I always stayed close. My mom always got one brother, so I was really close to my cousins. We used to go up there a lot, and just getting away from, because I lived in a not so good neighborhood when I was a kid too. So anytime I can get away was good. So just being close to my brother. I have a brother who's 13 months younger than me, so we were really close growing up too.
Yeah.
So.
Let's talk about your current situation. What is it?
I don't even know. I've been out here for almost 4 years, I guess. I came out here. I was clean for years. I had a good, clean stretch. And then the beginning of the pandemic, I relapsed. And because I lost my job. I was doing home health care. The lady died from COVID. So I didn't have that job anymore. I couldn't find a new one because everybody was in quarantine. And I couldn't get tested for probation. I wasn't going to my IOP groups anymore. Everything was over Zoom, so I wasn't getting tested at all, so I relapsed quick.
You regret that?
Yeah, and I came up here, I got my unemployment, I got a big chunk of money, and I flew right up here because the kid that I was with at the time, some of his family's from New York, so he went to a sober living program over on 40th Street, and so he knew all about Kensington. So as soon as we relapsed together, we came out here. Yeah. And that was the worst thing we could ever do.
And now you're in this situation. Are you homeless?
Technically, yes.
Where do you sleep?
I have friends that let me stay with them a lot, but sometimes I can't. You know, sometimes I am out on the street. But I have a few angels around that help, definitely.
All right.
Get me out of the cold.
Let's talk about addiction. How did yours start?
My addiction started with a prescription of Percocet from the doctor. And growing up, I was always scared of drugs. I was always scared to try drugs, and even medicines. I was scared to take medicine and stuff like that. And then I had a really bad toothache. I had cracked my tooth, and it was the worst pain in the world. And I went to the hospital, and because I couldn't get to the dentist till Monday, and they gave me a prescription of 30 Perk 30s for the weekend, which was the worst thing they could have ever did, because I took them for the pain and I loved the high, and I never stopped since.
Damn, man, you're not alone. So many people are in the same shoes as you.
I took pills for a little while, and then as soon as I couldn't get my hands on them, my roommate, she did heroin, and she's like, here, this will help. And I stared at it for like 12 hours sick before I even tried it. But since then, I haven't even touched a pill. It's crazy.
Yeah. And you're in this vicious cycle with so many other people. What's a day out here look like for you?
You're always chasing either like a maintain wellness, you know, like it's hard out here. Everybody is trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. So money's hard to come by. Everything you do is like, no matter what, even the girls who boost, girls dates, you know, dates used to be, you can get $150, now you're lucky if you get 40. Guys boost, girls go boost, they get $400, $500 worth of stuff, they get $30, $40 from the pawn shop, because everybody's feeding off us, they know we need it. So they're lowballing us with everything, and it's hard. You can't keep a job because you've got to stay well all the time, you got to get to work, you got to be well to get to work, you know, it's terrible. It's really bad. And now the stuff, you can't even stay well for more than 3 or 4 hours. They're putting a tranquilizer in it, people are losing their limbs and stuff. Thank God I don't have a problem with that, but I'm doing the same drugs they are eventually, you know.
Do you shoot?
Yes.
How many times a day do you shoot?
It depends really on the product, how much money I can get, how long it lasts. I got my tolerance down really low. My shots are about $10 a shot now. I do speedballs, I do like 1 coke, 1 dope, and that probably lasts 3 or 4 hours if I'm lucky. The first 6 months, or like a year I was out here, I got thrown into an SUV by a couple guys, and they brought me to a house for like a day or 2. I was raped repeatedly, left for dead, and I was in like a real deep hole for a few months. I decided to go to rehab, and I found out I was pregnant. And I was too far along to have an abortion. So I got with the adoption agency, and I placed my son up for adoption. In September 28th will be 2 years.
Was the pregnancy result of the rape?
Yes.
And I'm so sorry, dear.
There's a lot of pregnant girls out here right now. A lot of them get pregnant from tricking, you know, and there's nothing you can do once you're pregnant. You know, you gotta kind of stay. You can't go through withdrawal, the baby will die. You know what I mean? It's so hard. They have treatment. You can go to Jefferson and get on methadone, but it's so hard to go through that. And I understand. You know, I was using my whole pregnancy. My son was born 10 pounds, healthy, no withdrawal symptoms, thank God. But it could have been different. I know girls out here who've had stillbirths, miscarriages, deformations. You know.
Such a tough life. Do you see yourself getting up out of here one of these days?
I have to.
What's your biggest fear?
I don't want to die out here. And like we were talking before the interview, I don't have ID on me, and I'm not as close to my family as I want to be. If I go missing, I'm not from here. No one's going to report me missing. My family might report me missing, you know, a month or 2 that goes by, I don't talk to them. But then how do they go about, you know, I just don't want to be laying in a ditch rotting somewhere.
Agree. You don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that.
There's so many missing girls right now. It's terrible.
Yeah. Is the door still open for you to go back home to your family?
Yes. I have to be clean, and I can go home. I'm working on that right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got my tolerance down for detox, because now with the xylazine, they don't have anything for, it's not like you can just go get on a methadone taper and go home in 4 or 5 days.
Right.
Now you're sick for weeks, and it's terrible. My friend just died in jail, in Bucks County Jail, from withdrawal.
Serious?
She had a heart attack from the xylazine withdrawal.
And that's the only drug you use on trank dope?
I do. I mix it with cocaine.
Okay, so speedball, like you said, right?
And once in a while, I'll smoke crack, but it's not.
Have you OD'd before?
Yeah, a lot. Not recently, but a lot.
What was that experience like?
scary, waking up to paramedics and then you're sick, and you know, it's cycle. You know, one time I was in a car with some kid I met, and I OD'd, and he just threw me out of the car. Someone else found me, took me to the hospital. I was flatlined. They worked on me for like a half hour, brought me back, and I still got high right after.
What's the worst thing you ever done to support your habit?
Dates, tricking.
Dates.
I had, you know, I've been raped, I've been robbed, it's something that I don't do all the time, but it's something that I have to do sometimes. Yeah. You know.
What are other hustles that you can do besides doing dates?
I mean, there's always something you could do. Like a lot of people boost. I'm too scared to go steal. But I have a friend that I work with sometimes. He's teaching me coding.
Oh, nice.
Like for the computers and stuff. So I get a few dollars from that. You know, there's a couple times a week I have somebody, I go and I clean their house. They pay me, or you know, I don't trap. I don't want to trap. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go down with the blocks. You know, something I don't want to do. But there's always that too, and there's always a hustle. You know, people sell works. People sell. There's always something. There's always something to do.
So when do you realize that you had an addiction problem?
I think I knew it was going to be a problem as soon as I felt that high. Because even before the drugs, I was an alcoholic, bad. Like, I would drink every day, all day. I'd wake up hungover, sleep for a few hours, get drunk right after. And it runs in my family. Both my parents, they're clean now, but they were addicts. My brothers, most of them are addicts. And my one brother is a double amputee. He's diabetic, and he struggles with meth addiction. So he wasn't paying attention and taking care of his health like he should with his diabetes, and now he's a double amputee.
Damn.
So it runs real hard in my family.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Like, being cool is not worth it, I guess. Like, I hung out with the wrong crowd because I always felt like nobody liked me. And I was really young, tall, pretty blonde girl on a softball team. You know what I mean? I had lots of friends and stuff, but I always felt like I wasn't good enough. And so I hung out with the wrong crowd. I started drinking, you know, and then after that, the pills and everything. It's just all started because I wanted friends, and it's not worth it.
And you're not the only one. A lot of us are victims of that.
Yeah. And
it's even going on as of now. The next generation falling victim to peer pressure, wanting to be cool.
A lot of the young kids are in the trap houses trying to sell drugs, walk around with guns and money, and because they think that's cool, they're looking at they're looking at the old heads and stuff around here, and even, you know, just the younger 20-something-year-olds. These 14-year-old kids want to be like them because it's cool. They got money, they got cars, but they don't see the end result. In Kensington, you're not leaving unless you get clean or you die or jail. You know what I mean? Like, there's 3 ways out of here.
Yeah, that's tough. Okay, so we about to wrap things up. I really appreciate you for being courageous. Now, let's get off topic, all right? What do you want the world to know about you?
I just don't want people to forget about, like, their loved ones in addiction. I understand, like, the hard love thing, like, you don't want to send them money, you don't want to do this, but don't, like, there's people out here that have no family and they're just rotting away, and they have nothing to live for. They have no family, they can't contact their kids, you know, and once you don't have family, you kind of just write yourself off. So I just don't want people to forget about, you know, those in addiction.
Okay. Do you have a skill or talent?
I used to sing a lot.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
you should bring it back.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Why?
A lot of people don't say that. I don't know, it's happy. It makes me happy.
Awesome.
Yellow's a very happy color. A lot of people don't like the color yellow.
Cheese. All right. When you was a little girl, what do you want to become when you grow up?
I always wanted to be like a veterinarian when I was a kid, but then as I got older, I always wanted to go to culinary school.
Oh yeah, you like cooking?
Yeah, I do.
What are some of your favorite foods?
Every year for my birthday, my mom used to make me beef stroganoff. That's like my favorite thing, and cheeseburgers and steaks and everything. I love food. I'm a foodie.
Okay.
So.
Do you have a favorite band or artist you listen to?
Oh my God, I don't even know anymore.
Before?
Any emo screamo music from 2003.
2003
I'm
classic.
still stuck on that.
All right.
Still stuck on the high school emo screamo bands.
What's your favorite season of the year?
I like spring and fall.
Why?
The heat makes me so sick, and I hate the cold.
Okay.
So I can't do like 80 degree, 90 degree weather, and anything below 50 is freezing to me. So.
If you had to pick to fly or be invisible, which one would you pick?
Invisible.
Why?
Everyone wants to be invisible sometimes. Yeah.
What does art mean to you?
One of my really good friends, really good at drawing. He's really, you know, any kind of drawing he's good at. Singing, you know, anybody. There's all different kinds.
That's art too, singing, right?
Yeah, any kind of art.
Yeah.
Any talent you have, pretty much. You're artistic.
If your friends or your family see this video, what message would you like to send to them?
I'm sorry.
Anything else? All right. What are your short-term goals now?
Like I said, I brought my tolerance down, so I'm trying to go to rehab, detox. I just want to get home to my kid before it's too late.
Great. If you had 3 wishes, what would your 3 wishes be?
I only need one. I just want to be happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. And this one is to take us home. There are a lot of people in this world who judge people who struggle with drug addiction. What's your message for the world?
We weren't always like this, you know. Not everyone has a reason why, and just need to get down, like just don't judge a book by its cover, you know. A lot of us out here, we look like shit because we're out here, you know, but these girls, most of us were so beautiful and had so much potential, and then it brings you down so hard and so fast. And these people out here didn't forget about their families, you know, and even though their families forgot about them, you know, just reach out, you know. Just reach out to people.
So before we take flight, how can we as AML family or as society help you on your journey towards recovery?
I just think people should, like, even just listening to somebody talk is a big thing, you know. Like, sometimes people just want to tell their story to help others, or, you know, like, we don't all just want your money, you know. Obviously money is needed out here, but a lot of people aren't just dope fiends, you know. A lot of people still have good in their heart, so. Facts.
If people want to reach out to you to, you know, send stuff for you or send you a message, how do they go about doing that?
My email is Courtney, Courtney Bateman, Bateman 91@gmail. Or I have a friend's number that if you email me, I can give to you. Okay. Because I can't keep a phone out here to save my life.
Remember, don't be bitter, be better. Until next time, we out there. Peace out.